Greetings and salutations, Ben and Trev here. We got Charles Greene right about there. This is awesome.
What's going on, everybody?
Man, too long. I think it's only been about 3 months, but it's still been too long.
Brother, let me mute this other computer so I don't have this noise. You know, I love coming here to see you guys. It's always like a mini vacation on YouTube for me. We've logged a lot of time together.
That we have,
character
my friend.
up here in me. It's I was saying on my show just the other night. I remember saying it. I've spent more time on your channel other than Fruitcake Tony,
right?
Who was, that was my sort of origin thing for YouTube. Hey Tony, you rock. Yeah, I've spent more time with you. We've got a lot of hours under our belt.
I think we've done almost 20 shows together at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Hey, time flies when you're rocking. I don't know what else to say. It's
right. And I will say something. It was interesting. You brought it up on your show on Friday, and ironically, it was yesterday. Was you had brought up the anniversary of Dave and Desiree wedding anniversary, and unfortunately, yesterday was the anniversary of Dave's passing 4 years ago.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, I have to thank you for posting on Dez's thing because it came up on my feed immediately because of that. Because one friend comments on someone else's, they're going to push the post, and so I was able to say how much I honestly I miss Dave, and we still talk about him a ridiculous amount. I'm just going to say a ridiculous amount, which is good.
Well, interesting enough. Now I was just making a comment about my YouTube little journey and the time I spent with Tony and how much time I've spent on here. You are a permanent fixture in my David Nesdahl mind, along with Ty Price and a handful of other really awesome people, but it was primarily you three. Excuse me. And so your story with David Nesdahl is kind of like mine with Tony, sort of.
Well,
like mine with you. I mean, like mine with you.
I did that. I did that show purely for fun, obviously. Ty was getting into some scheduling issues, so they needed someone to at least substitute co-host with Dave, and then eventually took over, which was fine with me. And it was funny because I always had the bigger channel, not to brag, but like my channel was 3 times the size.
You got a big channel,
and that was only because I'd started doing a bit long, cut by a couple years before he started his stuff, because he was previously over with another channel, which I always say Dave got me in the divorce.
Hey, you made out in the deal. I'll say it like that. All right, how's that?
And I always kept in touch with Dave, and Dave was one of my first guests on this channel too. So
yes,
he had built up a rapport and stuff, and
yeah.
And he knew like he could rely on me because I hosted my own stuff, that it was easy to be the co-host, and I loved it because there was no pressure to book anybody, and I just got to be the class clown co-host because I'm not saying Dave was a very serious guy because he could joke with the best of us, but he was much more the straight and narrow, the straight man, we'll say, which allowed me to be the goofball, which really seemed to work dynamically. And
I liked it. Absolutely. He's sadly missed. We're going to talk about him. I'm planning here in the very near future to do a show on my channel where we take some clips. Excuse me. You'll be in a few of them. A bunch of people.
If you want to clip anything from my channel, any time that I had Dave on with me or anything, feel free.
Thank you. Thank you.
And normally I don't do that, folks. Everything I put out is copywritten and published.
Well, so there's Dave on his channel, and then there's Dave as a guest on other channels.
Right.
And you get to see when he comes on as a guest, he acts a little different because he's more formidable. He's a guest, and he is I'll use the word plethora of information. He just foundation. We rested peace, David Nesdahl. I can't say it enough.
And I will say the man was not afraid to throw you under the bus. I'll just say a quick little aside. I started doing my live shows, January 2018. It was about this time of the year in 2018, I'm going to say, Charles, that I reached out to now friend Larry Mitchell about coming on the channel. And for those who don't know, look him up. Larry's he's amazing. He's an icon. He's a legend. And he says, sure, you're a friend of Dave's, type thing. I'll come on. And so I had Dave arranged to come on as co-host for that night to work it because I didn't know Larry at all. And, I wasn't super familiar with his stuff. And a lot of it is out of print. So I just, it would really help me out, Dave, if, you come on. Okay. So we go, I send out the links. There's no Dave. There's no Larry. There's no Dave. There's no Larry. About 8 minutes before showtime, Larry pops on. Hey, nice to meet you, Larry. Waiting on Dave. Okay. Still waiting on Dave. 2 minutes before showtime, I got a text from Dave. Oh, man, totally forgot. Playing cards with my family. Larry's a great guy. You'll do fine.
No way.
So I went, well, fuck you, Nesdall. And I told Larry, and Larry just laughed because Larry's known Dave forever.
Sure.
And then we went off and had the show, and all I can say is Larry and I have been friends ever since.
That is awesome.
So,
and do you kind of get, when you tell me that story, and I don't know, I didn't know Dave nearly as well as you did, but I was fortunate enough to get to know him a little bit. That's the kind of guy he was, and he knew damn well what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
To go play cards? That's his excuse. He was going to play cards instead of getting on the show and helping you.
He was literally across the street at his mom's place and finally
looked at his phone.
That's
hilarious.
But he's just like, he knew me.
Solid.
He knew Larry. He knew we would get along.
He knew you had it.
Fine.
Excellent.
Fucking
David, man.
Well, we got a bunch of people in here. We got 39, 41 going up. We should do some roll call here. First in the chat, we have Zach Thong. Love Zach.
Yeah, bro.
Right on, Zach. Right there, brother.
John Landino. Always great to see.
Right on, John.
Matt McCullum. We know him.
Brother,
He put out a
know
video
him.
today.
We know that guy.
JP Page 2. He also put out a video today. Fun fact.
Right on, JP. I saw his last show with you. He was a guest. Very recent.
A couple weeks ago, I think that was.
Right on.
2 weeks ago.
Right on.
Yeah, he put out a new how to punch holes in an amp chassis.
Excellent.
Yeah, really cool because he's building an amp. So if you haven't already, check out his channel, folks. We got Munch Michelli here. Great to see Munch.
Right on.
Mark Spurgeon. Good to see Mark.
Mark, good man.
Hip Metal Works. We know that guy.
Hey, we know that guy.
Our good friend Chris, a.k.a. Unfucking Believable, in the house.
It's good to see you, Unfucking Believable. Right
Michael Krause. Always a pleasure.
Michael, you rock.
Wow, I can't believe I said that to Mike. But all right. Guitar Man 45 is here. He survived hanging out on Friday night. I forget who he saw in concert, but he saw somebody in concert. Rob Blackmore Official's here. You can tell by the way with devil horns and alien heads and such.
You rock, Rob.
Bonkers is here.
Right on.
Papa Blue. Timmy.
Good to see you, Papa.
Right on.
Hope you're doing better, Timmy. He wasn't feeling too well on Friday, I know, because he left the
Good
note
to see
on
Timmy.
Charles.
Right on, Timmy.
Glenn Michael Thompson. He's not hacked anymore. He's back under his main account.
GMT.
Right on, Glenn.
Fellow Canuck Gene Spliced in the house. Who else?
Gene, it's good to see you, bro.
They're all saying, hey, oh, my cousin Doug. He was on was that 2 weeks ago? So my gym must have been 3 weeks ago.
Right on, Doug.
I think that's how that worked. I don't remember now. Doug survived a trip to Cleveland. That's all I can say. Mark Taft.
It's good to see
You
you,
can tell
Mark.
by the way that he is.
Right on, Mark.
Who else we got in here? They're all saying hey to each other. Scrolling, skip. Nope. Jimmy Biter. He's going to be on with us in a couple of weeks. And the channel that Charles shouted out Friday night, Rhodey's Jam Cave.
Right on, bro.
Some really cool content product, if you were, consumptionary listening pleasures. That you, Steve? Is Steve Reeser Roser.
Good to see you, Steve. Right on, man.
Indiana Steve, for those who don't know. Blue Mox, he leaves them everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, Chris.
Great to see him.
Right on, Chris.
And Greasy Monkey Guitars. Good to see ya. And we're all caught up by the way that the chat doesn't scroll any further, Trev. I can tell. Also, a fun fact, any tips going to the virtual tip jar will be going to my birthday fund, which is a guitar stand. I'm not fancy.
Hercules.
And then once we get the Hercules guitar stand, any leftover money's going towards a dab rig. To inspire use of the guitar stand. So yeah, one of those triple hangers. Because I got 2 guitars, Charles, that are oddly shaped and won't fit in a rack, so you got to get the hanger that hangs them by the headstock. Because
that's life. Right on.
I have a thing for odd-shaped Gibsons.
At least you don't have Les Paulitis like Guitar Hack. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, man. You know.
Now I have to admit, my very first electric guitar was a Les Paul. So
there you go.
And for those who saw me from the One Day Live days, literally lived with a Les Paul around my neck for years.
Well, that was a precursor. That was
a
precursor to me letting you know you need to admit to your telleitis. I mean, my God, man.
Well, there is that. Well, that was literally one or the other. My entire playing career was usually, like, I would say 90% of my playing career, at least, was either a Telly or Les Paul. And then the other 10%, literally everything else that I would bring out to gigs later on. But, I haven't found the right Les Paul yet, but, man, I found the right Explorer and the right V, so... What's up, Search for Tone? Great to see Brian in here.
Brian.
I haven't been catching your trips to Lone and McQuaid much lately. I did see one a month ago or so. Are you still doing them? Have you done one in the last month?
Hell yeah.
I shot seeing them?
I shot 8, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, which been a month for the content. I did half of the new Epiphone Futura series. They're all released.
Yes.
And then I did a beautiful reissue 51 Telly for the American Vintage 2 series.
Okay, so I saw the Epiphone and I saw the Telly video. I've seen those.
The Telly one, that thing retails for the same price as a Les Paul.
It's beautiful.
But it was amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
It's beautiful.
Nitro paint, vintage radius.
God. Ben, you can't have them all. Hack. You can't have them all, brother. That's all I'm saying, man.
Hey, I also hasn't been released yet, but I almost walked out the door with a Firebird that day too because I fell in love with this cherry red Firebird. Oh,
cherry red. You know, I used to have a thing for red guitars real bad. Now I only have I have 2, but my daughter Taylor has confiscated one.
Thank you very much, Gene Spliced, and because of the amount you donated, if you want to email me at canucksweekguitars@gmail.com, I'll send you a link to come hang out with us for a bit after the show.
Right on, fun. Gene. You rock, brother.
Very Winterpeg. Cool, Trev, we got a layover in Winterpeg in the Cross Canada Adventure. Yay! Rob Blackmore asked, what did I think of the Epiphone RD? I dug it, man. The only thing I didn't like was the switch was a little flaky, I think, in that one. Is either the Explorer or that one. That's been the Achilles heel for Gretches and Epiphones for 20 years. For whatever reason, they use a Switchcraft switch. But other than that, yeah, they are great. I was really impressed with the fit and finish. Love those paint jobs. Love them. Joe Alba in the house.
Joe's a rocker. It's good to see you, Joe.
He is.
Yeah, Epiphone quality is always. I mean, I've never
always improving along with Gibson's
played
quality,
a bad Epiphone. I mean, I've heard a couple of people say, "Oh, this Epi sucks compared to this Les Paul." I mean, I've heard that argument, and I get it, but I've owned several like you guys. They're playable. They
literally
play good.
With Epiphone
You can mod the shit out of an Epiphone. That's the beauty of an Epiphone, right?
I should preface, Trev, that I gigged with Epiphone Les Pauls for years, but they were all made in Korea. So they were pre-2005, I want to say. Charles is when they moved the manufacturing from Korea to China. And they were always known to have a little extra aura. Like anything that's made in Korea, like your Korean-made Ibanez's and others, they were just a little bit better fit and finish at that time. Mm-hmm. But I remember when I started the channel, Gibson was the butt of so many jokes because they all had flaws, for lack of a finish flaw or something mechanical. There was always something, it seemed, with Gibson's pre-bankruptcy. which probably says a lot because they're probably cutting corners to avoid the bankruptcy as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But since they relaunched, like my V is 2021. I think I called it a 2020, but I think it's a 2021.
Mhm.
And it's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
You notice
right
when
down
they're
to
that
super
good,
light.
you know?
It's only 6.8 pounds, Charles.
Now, I've always thought that, when
Dang. Thanks, Terry.
haven't personally
I
seen.
called you're right.
Oh, Terry, you're awesome, brother.
What's up,
Right
Milt?
on. Terry's 3G, man. I've never actually put my eyes on, in person, a Les Paul that had a shitty appointment where it was obvious to me. I've never played a Les Paul that was shit. I've played, I don't know, in my whole
I'll be
life,
honest,
20
most
of
of that
them,
is
20,
usually caught.
25 maybe. In fact, that's not even true. Maybe 15, to be honest. 15 is a good number.
I would say it's
and
mostly
that's over
caught
the
before they
years.
get out onto the showroom floor. But for me, it's honestly, when I do that thumbnail where I'm holding the guitar up, it's right about that. I've seen like a bit of overspray on the binding, just little things like that, or a beautiful, what was it? A tangerine burst, I want to say, as opposed to cherry burst. So it was much more orange and amazing. I totally fell in love with it until I held it up and I could see literally a thumbprint in the back of the guitar.
So that's manpower.
Yeah.
That's people. That's people not.
I was shocked someone works in the paint department without
You know.
gloves, Charles, to put an actual thumbprint that was in the color they missed, and then they shot the clear over it, so there's no way to get rid of that thumbprint.
And so that right there, you can't have that.
No.
The last thing a company should do is, and they had to be, if they had employees who were doing that kind of work after having the quality over the years, that tells me that there was a restructuring. They were paying people less money, the people who had quality trades in their hand. And it freaking matters. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole real quick. Steve Brand.
Yep.
He's my guitar teacher. He's a luthier. He's everything. Okay, he's a professional musician as well. And I sent him my Hot for Teacher neck from a Hot for Teacher, and he has sent me over the last week. He's been rebuilding the neck. It's gonna come back so freaking beautiful. I gotta give him a shout out just from photographs alone. It's
We did,
wonderful.
in fact, Brother Tom, we started off the show with that.
Right on, yeah, Tommy. It's good to see you. I love you, brother.
I've noticed a new thing in here, Trev. After you highlight a comment, it grays it out.
It's dimming.
That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Just, you keep track.
Another
of it.
new feature of StreamYard. They're giving us new features all the time.
So instead of having to pull it, it puts it up there for a period of time and just takes it away slowly?
No,
Is that what
I'll
you
take it
said?
off manually, but now in the StreamYard chat, the comments I have highlighted are kind of grayed out.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
They
I
dim
see it
after
now.
you-
So you won't probably, so you don't highlight the same thing twice.
I see it. Yeah, Tommy's name is dim right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had just noticed that. You'd think I'd have seen that shit. Anyway.
Yeah, I think this is just, it wasn't like this on Thursday. So.
I haven't noticed it on the last show on Friday. I did not notice
But
that.
they get, like, say, well, you know how it is. Every time you log into StreamYard, they got a new feature they're rolling out of some kind.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy lately. I can't gripe about
And I
it.
will say, when we're talking
Knock
about the
on wood.
restructuring pre-bankruptcy, anyone that's gone through corporate restructuring knows they get rid of all the veteran people first because they're making more. Because, most companies will give you some form of a raise year to year. Cost of living increase, whatever they want to call it. So that entry-level person is going to be making, let's say, half of what the guy who's been there 20 years is making. So if they're able to pay two people the same as that one guy, it makes sense from a bean counter point of view. The problem is the guy who's been working there 20 years will spot a defect a mile away.
That's right. That's right. And so my only knowledge of that workmanship was videos guys were posting on YouTube. And for the better part of a decade, they would come across my feed and I would watch and see, and I could see where they didn't do that. And it's all the stuff you were talking about. And it's the little shit with guitars that really matters. At that price point, you shouldn't have to say at that price point, this shouldn't be that way. Because you can literally buy guitars that are $750, $800.
Yep.
Or how about just an Epiphone of a Gibson and compare the quality and workmanship? And I have had in my hands an Epiphone that I really preferred over a Les Paul.
Well, it's gotten to the point
I
where
hesitated to
most
say
of them,
it from embarrassment, like I was stupid, until I started hanging with you guys, realizing, no, it was a real thing.
also,
You know?
like especially the Inspired by Gibson series, literally the only difference is nitro paint versus poly and the country it's made in.
Yeah.
Wood's the same, pickups the same, hardware's the same, electronics the same. It's just literally the wage difference is a huge, and the poly instead of nitro, because nitro takes longer to cure.
And how's the workmanship comparison, right?
Sometimes superior.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, you never hear about finish problems from an Epiphone.
See, that's it, right?
And also, I think part of it too is I hold Gibson to a high standard because of the price point. Like these days, a Les Paul's pushing $4,000 new. I don't want to find a swirl in the paint for $4,000. Like if I'm buying it new, it's got to be a 10 out of 10. Not a single scratch, not a little ding, nothing.
When you open the case, you should say, ooh.
Exactly.
Every freaking time, man. That's how it works.
Exactly. Now, if they have it marked as a demo and it's 10% off or, or used, fine. Then we can get it. Okay, well, it's only 10% off. Well, it should still be a good 8.5, 9 out of 10 at that point. And most of them are 9 out of 10s because everybody owns 20 guitars and no one's playing their guitars into the ground like we used to. Sup, Darren Forbes?
Right on, Darren.
He's from the city that rhymes with fun. All the Canadians will get that one.
You know, I had to go on a darn service call after I think the last time I spoke with Mitch today was after Puppy Badass's show, maybe 30 minutes or something. And just a few moments after that, I had to go out on a service call. Mm-hmm. And I got back about 20, 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes before showtime. And I didn't really get any chance to warm up or anything on guitar like I wanted. I did get to play some earlier, but anyway, that's why I'm sitting here trying to noodle as much as I can.
Which I'm fully cool with. Tom says if I'm spending $4,000 on buying a used Nags, I would like to try a Nags because honestly, I can't bond with a PRS, and they are PRS adjacent. So I'm curious to see. But then again, my biggest problem with PRSs is the pickups, Charles. I'll be honest with you. Like, I've demoed a lot of PRSs, and the ones that have coil tap, I love them in single coil mode. Those humbuckers coil taps sound like amazing single coils. But I put them in a humbucker mode, and they're lacking.
So they're just not big enough and fat enough? Is it that they're not big enough and fat enough? Is that you're just not impressed with the punch?
Well, you know how like your neck pickup on, say, a Les Paul, we'll say the neck pickup's going to be darker than the bridge. But it's almost like the bridge pickup sounds like a neck pickup, and the neck pickup's even darker. They're just very dark and...
So I feel that's by design. You know? Yeah. That's by design.
Right. Which tells me, because it all goes through Paul, that Paul likes shitty pickups. Apparently. You know?
Wow.
And then Bo has to throw down, a few of my PRSs are signed by Joe Nags himself in the cavity.
It's good to see you, Bo. Right on, man. Oh, shit. That is so cool.
The Silver Sky SE single coils are really good. Yeah, I enjoyed the sound of that. It sounded like a Strat, played like a Strat. But he replaced the humbuckers in his custom 24 right away. And Tom says, I love the bare knuckle Steve Stevens pickups. Yeah, but those aren't PRS pickups. Those are bare knuckles. Now, I will say I did play one once, Charles, and I was just finally a PRS. Like, I loved the feel of it. The neck felt great. Pickup sounded amazing. It was sitting there used for 5,800 Canadian.
Say what?
Yeah. And I went, it was some high-end McCarty model, and I went, oh, well, there we are. I was like, well, apparently they do build a PRS I like. I just can't afford one. So
it's it was a thing of.
Amazing.
When I hear $5,000 for a guitar or $6,000 for a guitar, I used to scoff a little. I'd be like, man, there's no need for that shit. You don't need that. You don't need that. But I've
Play one.
I've got some guitars some that are in process right now, and a couple that I have, from Lock Custom and stuff. And once you buy the Floyd and you've got all the appointments and everything done, and if you have Charles wrap it, you're looking at $2,800, $2,900.
And that's not putting a fancy logo on the end.
That's if you put titanium in that Floyd and do some metal upgrades, you can easily break the $3,000 mark with the guitar.
And that's without, like I say, without paying a manufacturer to have a logo on it, which is going to be another expenditure on top of that. And like Bo said, the Murphy Lab is well worth it. Like, again, I played Gibson USA. I played Gibson Custom Shop, Charles. I did feel a slight difference, so I understood the price point. Then I played a Murphy Lab, and it was just like, it made a Gibson USA feel like a Firefly, for just throwing a company under the bus. But it was ridiculous. It sounded amazing. It felt amazing. It weighed a ridiculously, I think it was barely 7 pounds with no weight relief, which is ridiculous with a Les Paul. But it was also $10,000, and I was thinking to myself, yep, it's worth it.
Why was it so light? What, with no weight relief? What was it? Just a very light version of that wood? Because
Mr. Murphy gets first choice of all the wood that comes into Gibson. Murphy Lab gets first dibs on all the wood. The custom shop gets second choice, and then the rest goes to Gibson USA.
I got you.
And some are set aside for the made to measure, which is basically custom shop as well. But the Murphy Lab stuff, it is ridiculous quality. But I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, Charles. Like, I looked at it right away and I went, that looks like a 59 Les Paul. Why? Because the shade of red they're using is obviously correct. It reminded me of Nesdal's Les Paul. So, like, in immediately, I went, the burst is the same. And I went, that's a Les Paul. That's what it's supposed to look like. That burst
on his Les Paul was spectacular. David's. That teardrop.
Yeah.
He used to show that off.
Right.
Yeah, man. My goodness.
It was the most choice piece of wood. And that was the funny part. When the guy handed it to me, as soon as I grabbed it, as soon as my hand went around, I went, oh, no, this is the best guitar I remember going to play. And I don't know what it is. And I grabbed it with my right hand. But that neck felt perfect even in my right hand. And I went, oh, no.
Was it fat and chunky, or was it nice?
No, it was just, I couldn't explain it. Like, it was, like, even, it's weird how a lot of people will say these 50s necks are chunky. I played a lot of 50s reissues, and they're not much different than, now, I'll say they're not much different than the regular neck. Now, the 60s Super Slim, right away, because it has a flat spot in the middle of the back of the neck. Almost like a winter neck.
Do you like the flat spot? Do you like that?
I do.
I kind of like it, too. It gives your thumb a place to just kind of ride when you're going up and down. You can lock it up low and high.
I have small hands, so it allows me to just get it because I'm a thumb wrapper. I used to play with my thumb, but I have ironically arthritic thumbs, so I can't. Like, a bar chord to me is painful. If I got to do more than one song in a row with bar chords, forget it.
Gotcha.
So I do put it, the neck into the meat of the hand, and I might, especially playing a live band, I don't need to play the root note. Bass player's playing the root note already, Charles. I don't need to play it. Or if there's another guitar player, chances are he's playing the bass note. So that allowed me to move around a bit more for my hands.
I used to do that a lot. Fast Eddie Clark from fucking Motorhead.
Yeah, straight.
He did that shit a lot. That's funny. Of
course, because Lemmy's holding down the bottom end, so he's like...
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Or another analogy, Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
Like, we used to always say that in band practice. If everything sounded a little too monotone, we got to kiss it up. And I'm just like, kiss it up. And then he's like, you want to be Ace Frehley or Paul? Which told me right away, if I'm Ace, I'm playing an octave higher than Paul is. Because Paul would play the bottom end with Gene, and then Ace would play the same power chords, but an octave higher to fill out the sound quite often.
Right on. Hey, so a couple of weeks ago, I was minding my own business, chat. I'm talking to the chat now, and Trev. I'm not even talking to you now, Ben. I'm talking to Trev, and I'm talking to the chat. I'm minding my own freaking business, and my phone goes off, and Ben, in all of his eloquent glory, throws it out that it would be really cool if I learned a specific song when I came on here and played it for him. He would really
Which
appreciate
I've never done to a guest. I'm just going to say that. I've never, because I hate it when people say to me, hey, learn the specific song. I'm like, really? Unless I really want to, it's really hard for me to learn a song, but I had faith in you. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I appreciate that. And so I immediately was like, oh, shit, what's he getting me into? But I knew the song. Now, this is the song okay, so I typically will listen to whole albums a lot more. No, let me rephrase what I was saying. 8 to 10 years ago, before I started getting into individual songs a lot more for playing on YouTube and just learning songs on guitar, I used to do albums on my playlist. And so if I keyed up 1980s Ace of Spades, okay, I would have gotten every song on that album.
Right.
And the commercial tunes, well, that particular album has some of their best Motorhead iconic tunes on it. That's the album. But there are other bands, many other bands who have a couple of songs on this album, one song on that album, one song on this album. And over the course of a decade, they have, a nice, really great playlist of great songs that we've all loved.
Which for them, buy their greatest hits. And you won't regret it, but you might be a little tedious sitting through that fourth album that really only had the one hit.
Yeah, exactly. But this song, it came off of Ace of Spades from Motorhead. I never would have learned it if Ben didn't ask. I'll try to do it justice. I'll try. It'll be a little rough. I am not Fast Eddie Clark. And he utilized the
just plays them on YouTube, folks.
He utilized the wah pedal with fuzz in a way that's unique to this day. When I think of, rock guitar players who do that kind of thing, I've never really. 10 years ago, I used a pedal board for a while. I had it when I first started getting into guitar, and then I very quickly switched over to this platform. Now, at some point here, I'm going to evolve into having a wah pedal on a board where I can click stuff out and add and remove, delay, and all the things that I should be doing right now that I'm bearing my soul that I'm not doing. It's obvious, right? So I had to change the song up a little because the end of it, and something about the Ace of Spades album, damned if every song isn't a little less or just a little more than 3 minutes long.
Yep.
It's full of nothing but short and sweet songs. Hard rock, hard hitting, fast little numbers. Can you tell
they were doing shows with the Ramones around that time, Charles?
They were just as big
I'm
in
just
the
throwing it
crowd
out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
The metal crowd or the rock, the hard rockers, as we called ourselves.
That's why the punks loved them. They're like, yeah,
and the first time I ever heard the word metal was not from fucking Sammy Hagar, and it was not from Metallica. It was from Lemmy, and they literally. I'm so sorry. It wasn't from Lemmy. It was about Lemmy and the band from the public. We called it speed metal. That's what we called Motorhead back in the late 70s. Late 70s into the 80s, they were known as speed metal to all of us because they played faster, louder, and harder than anything else, and our parents fucking hated them.
Yep.
It was great. Everything that a young growing boy needs, right? But anyway, Ben asked me to play this song, and guys, I'm gonna play it for you right now.
If you're a casual fan, you may not know it, but if you're a real Motorhead fan, you'll know it immediately.
Absolutely. Period. This is for you, Mr. Ben Coombs. Right on.
All right.
Right
and
on,
if you haven't already, please subscribe to Charles' channel. He's 3 subs away from 250. I'm trying to get him past 250 tonight. Just saying.
Yeah. We're Mitch and I, man. I love Mitch, by the way. Mitch Hangin, you rock. We have 100th show coming up here, and I got to tell you, time flies on YouTube. It really flies on YouTube. I was in YouTube denial. I'm not a YouTuber, but we got a 100th show coming up here real soon with Mitch, and I love you, Mitch. It's going to be fun, guys. Anyway, I'm going to rock this tune out.
Another town, another place, another girl, another face, another truck, another race. I'm eating junk, feeling bad. Another night, I'm going mad. My woman's leaving, I feel sad. But I just let the life I lead. Another beer is what I need. Another gig, my ears bleed. We are the road crew. Another town I've left behind. Another drink, completely blind. Another hotel I can't find. Another backstage bus for you. Another tube of super glue. Another border to get through. I'm driving like a maniac. Driving way to hell and back. Another room, a case to pack. We are the road crew. Another turn, another year and map to learn. Another truck stop on the way. Another game that I can play. Another word I learned to say. Another blasted customs post. Another bloody foreign coast. Another set of scars to boast. We are the road crew. That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's for you, Big Coombs. I don't know how that came
Wow.
out.
Man, that was awesome.
I don't know about all that. But anyway, Motorhead ain't easy, guys. It's really cool to play, and it's fun. Guitars are so much damn fun. Where would we be without them?
Some of those lyrics, I've always loved that song because it's so true.
It's
Like a truck stop,
You know-
another game I can play because there was always pinball machines and video games at all the truck stops.
they tell their stories about the road so good.
I learned a new word today. Oh, there's Randy in the chat. You tell by the way that he is. Yeah, you got to play some hard rock, and Randy will show up.
Randy rocks. It's good to see you.
Well, we don't want to blow out your speakers, Bo. You could have turned up your speakers, you know. Yeah, for a guy who barely warmed up, Trev makes a fella not really want to play on Thursdays as often. No,
Sound pretty good.
Oh, please. Yeah, I love this community, man. We have fun, don't we, guys? We have so much fun. You know, I finally got to the point where at least I have stable equipment to where I can come on here on a regular basis, not worry, not flip out too much. Well, I don't mess anything up, and we can do this here in this community. I think I have a lot of fun doing this. Maybe too much fun.
If you haven't already, link in the description down below. Check out Charles' channel. He's live every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. He's rocking it out.
Terry's put it in chat as well.
Thank you, Terry.
Right
I assume Terry
on.
did.
I seen it.
Right
Good.
on.
You can tell by Terry the way that he is because he's good with the links and the stuff, and you know, and the factoids, Terry, tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I like it because you're basically confirming what I've been saying exactly. Broke a fella's ego, and you know, he might Check out Terry's channel too.
Right,
See what I did there, Trev?
Mhm.
Terry,
Right.
put like your channel in there for once.
I see Ryan's in the chat. It's good to see you, Ryan.
It's not Ryan, it's Randy.
Oh, is that? I see it now. Randy too. I see it. Is it? Ever since everybody's name changed on this YouTube
know.
shit,
I know,
Anyway,
Super
it's good to
Chef.
see you, Randy.
Someone
Right
might
on,
want to
brother.
update his handle, Super Chef.
Where's the cooking channel?
I went in and looked into it for a little bit, and I kind of gave up. I got to go back. I do want to change it. Hell, I was in college culinary school when I started my YouTube channel, back in the day. And I kind of wish they hadn't switched it over because, that's a blip in my life that I had. It's not, something that I really wanted on my YouTube name or whatever, but we all have to deal with it, I guess.
Hey, Richard
It's all good.
Dangmitsu.
Richard! Okay. I got to tell my story, Richard.
Yeah.
I saved this from the green room. I'm cruising down the road on the night of our show. And it's I'm in traffic, and it was probably maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock by that time. And I think I even had called Mitch, and I was talking with him about it. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to even make it to the show on time. And I was shuffling stuff
For a guy
around.
who sees a lot of music, I'm just saying, I hear this more often than not with you, my busy friend.
When you want to see a show, sometimes you gotta work at it, and if it's a priority, you gotta fucking make it happen. Okay, you gotta make it happen, and I get points for doing that. I really do. I see a lot of rock. My kids and I all go to a lot of shows, and we have to work at it sometimes to make it happen. But we're getting really good at it. I'll say that. But anyway, Richard. So I was on Live Nation, and I saw. Okay, the week before I got food poisoning, and I was supposed to be front row and center with Jump at the Carolina Theater, neighborhood theater in Charlotte, Richard. And I got food poisoning. I missed the show. I missed all the content I was going to have. I didn't really have the plans I wanted for my show on that Friday. I didn't have it. We had to improvise, and I saw the same thing kind of happening 2 weeks in a row because I was going to be way in the back in the mezzanine, and I had the opportunity to upgrade. Okay, that's just simply that. And so I was third row in that show.
Yeah, you were.
The only thing in front of me was the orchestra pit, and it was only 2 rows deep. It's not like a massive pit. It's a no big deal pit. Because this is more of like a theater auditorium than it is. It's not an
This
arena.
is my
of any
favorite place
kind.
to see a live show. I'm not going to
It's
lie.
killer. It is
First of
killer.
all,
The
comfy
acoustics were
seats.
beautiful.
Always get a decent seat
Yeah.
for
yeah.
the butt.
Well,
Maybe not visually good, decent seat in that respect,
Well,
but your butt's going to
wherever-
thank you.
Wherever Richard was, he had a fantastic seat. There was not a bad seat in the house. You can't have a bad seat in that place. And for sound, everywhere's beautiful. But I saw that I could get I was on Live Nation. I saw I had the opportunity to snatch a ticket. And then at the same time, I was working out to make sure I could at least get to the venue. The opening band, Elephants as leaders. Interesting band, very guitar-oriented,
Playing guitars
8-string.
with all the strings.
8-string. There's no
That's a
bass
harp.
player. They
at
don't need
this
it.
point. That's a harp, Charles. That's not a guitar. That's a harp.
Okay, so honestly, I found it a little. I love guitar. The musician prowess, the drummer, the other two. There's 3 guys in the band, 2 guitar players and a bass and a drummer. There's no bass player and there's no vocals. It's all instrumental.
Well, we know
talks
where
to
Rick
the,
ended up, why you couldn't see him up in the balcony.
Row G. Okay, so that's why I didn't see you. Okay, so my story, Richard.
You're not crazy.
Fuck. These 2 guys up above me, Richard, have heard this shit. They know where this is going.
And I'm
Okay?
like, it all makes sense now, Trev.
So I get there, and it's like 5 minutes till Animals as Leaders hit the stage. And I managed to take a photograph when I sat down in my chair. I sent one to Mitch, one to Ben, and one to Steve Brand with a little thing. And I said, and I was thinking, and I went and I tried to pull you up, Richard, in my social media. I couldn't find you. I fucking don't know why, because I believe you and I are Facebook friends, but I looked, I didn't see you, and I had to email you because I got your email. The show starts. So now I'm trying to film, and I'm thinking about this and that, and I'm trying to work it out. End result was, as I spun around when the lights came on between the show, and I knew you told me where your seat was in the mezzanine, I couldn't find you anywhere. And so that was the one shot I had between the shows to actually, see you. So I apologize for not getting apologize.
You got
I'm
there
depressed.
at the same time, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm depressed. We didn't. So, Richard, I'm going to say it again like this. Iron Maiden and Megadeth are coming to the PNC. I know you had messaged me before that you had a prior engagement on that
Good show,
date
Trav.
with your family. I get it. If something falls through, I will have a ticket for you. They're not up front or anything like that. They're under the shed. You have a seat, and it's Iron Maiden and Megadeth. So it is still available to you if something falls through. Because I'm really bummed. First thing I said to Ben was, man, I didn't get to hook up with Richard, and that was really depressing. But Richard, let's talk about what we did get to do. We saw Pete Thorne kick the shit out of Charlotte, man. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed him as much as I did Vian Satch.
How are those
I
two
know, that's
backing
ludicrous.
guitar players he's got
True.
behind him, Charles? He's
Yeah,
got two backing
yeah.
guitar players in his band
Yeah.
there. Those two
Yeah.
kids are they? I heard they're pretty good backing up Pete there on stage.
It was an absolute joy to get to see him. Linking up with people you see. He's Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube to me. A lot of you guys, he's YouTube, right? You guys know him from YouTube. Ben knows him even better than that. However, I had never got to actually see him play, and to have the opportunity to see him with Marco Mendoza and Kenny Arnott, Jesus. Right. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, Richard. I shot the shit out of that show. I got almost all of it. I showed a little on my channel on Friday.
If you want to see some of the highlights from the show, folks, go on to Charles' channel. His last live stream.
Yeah.
Not right now. After.
No, don't go now.
But check it out, and Terry can put the link to Charles's channel in. Especially at the end of the show, Terry. I'll forget, but if you don't. So yeah, folks, if you want to see that, I don't know. I keep forgetting the names of the two guys playing in Pete's band, but I figure if they keep at it, Charles, they might be able to get an endorsement from a real guitar company.
I think they just might get it, huh?
So they can have some real these. I don't know, these Ibanez guitars. They're good for a student, but I don't know. I can't. But Ibanez is a good company actually, Charles, because those two guys have literally been endorsed with them for basically 40 years at this point. Right. So
that
if with one company for 40 years, that says something.
It's really great to be at this age, you guys, listening to the music we listen to and being fortunate enough to see these rockers still performing, because they don't all get this way. This is unique. Not only is Satch and Vi still really healthy, and I think they play guitar just as well as they did back in the day when they were writing all their hits, all the albums. They're more. They've. I don't know how to say it. They've sort of bloomed, kind of. They've just settled in and become who they are, I guess would be the best way to say it.
I think in many ways, Charles, they're playing better than they ever have because, and I'm going to say, they're more tasteful than they were. I'm going to say they're both tasteful more than 10 years ago, more than 20 years ago, because as you mature as a musician, especially in that environment where you're not the only one on stage, just one spotlight, and I think that comes from years of doing the G3 thing too, where you get up together, but now it's just a whole thing. So you're going to do a lot of call and response. You're going to lay back as much as you push forward, and
Well, the songs they've been writing too together, they do really complement each other's vocabulary and styles very well.
Yeah, because they're not the same
Yeah.
player.
Not at
You
all. Not at all.
Definitely have a different voice.
Not
Yep.
at all, right? I saw Bent Tom put in the chat, Satriani looks like he hit 50 years old and just stopped. The only difference that I honestly, and I shit you not, the only difference that I catch in Joe Satriani from now and 30 years ago
Really.
is his arm hair is now gray and it's not fucking black like a sheep because he's the hairiest dude you've ever seen, right? Right? His arms are now gray and the hair is no longer like jet black like it used to be. But yes, the same dude, man. And so this was very informal. So every once in a while, they'd come up to the front of the stage, and you're just looking at their fingers.
Don't even start, Matt. I went through this with Nesdal the last year he was live. I'm like, what's the plural of Ibanez? Is anyone else that says, I have 3 Gibsons, I have 3 Fenders, and you know what they say, Charles? I have 3 Ibanez guitars. They always say the word guitars. I'm like, what is it? Is it Ibanez? This is Ibanez? That's what I went with. Ibanez.
Ibanez.
Yeah.
So shit,
I just go with Ibanez. For
Ibanez cool. Ibanez good actually.
It made Dave giggle back in the day. So it's same as because we would do shows on things like Super Strats, and I decided, Charles, if you got a Floyd Rose system and you have an HSH, let's say like a gem isn't a Super Strat. That's a super duper Strat at this point.
It's a Strat.
He's scalloping out parts of the fretboard. You got hogged out so you can pull back as well. That's a super duper Strat at this point.
Yeah. And some guys can utilize all those tones and stuff. I personally, it's out of my league.
I don't understand.
It really is.
All of it.
A 5-way switch. I'm just like, what? I find a tone I like. I'm just
Tom
evolving.
Remember those conversations. He's the super
duper Strat.
And,
there you
and
go.
Of course, I would never say to him in like we talk off air, Charles. Before a show, you never mention there. I always sprung that shit on Dave live.
Yes.
And I'm like, whoa, Dave. No, I think that's a super duper Strat. He goes, what the hell? What are you on? I'm like, well, a little this, a little that. What's up, Steve?
You remember the show when you were talking about the one show? I know I'm having flashbacks right now where the question was, what is a super Strat? What makes a guitar a super Strat? And Dave sat back and everybody in the chat was saying it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. It's got to have this.
And it came to the point where you had to do it like a certain amount of up. You couldn't just put a humbucker in, or just a locking trap. There had to be several steps. And I'm like, well, when does a super Strat become a super duper Strat at that point? And yeah, and he's just like, what? Yeah, as he would tilt his head, as he would Charlie's. What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? I'm like, super duper Strat.
David Nesdal, man. I'll tell you what, guys.
And then he could always, his response, are you high? And I'm like, yes. Of course. And then, and he didn't know what to say to that. Oh, well, yeah, there's that. And
did you ever call him at 5:30 in the morning? And were you one of those guys by any chance?
I did not, but he would call me.
Yeah. It's funny how that little rule didn't apply when he needed you at 5:30. I accidentally called him at 5:30. Okay? I was one of those guys, and it was totally by accident. It was 5:30 in the morning. He had sent me a text the night before very early. So it was very, very late the night before. I didn't even know it came. I wake up, didn't have my glasses on, and I scrolling Messenger and blah, blah, and this and that. And I look, I see David Nesdal, and then all of a sudden my phone page changes, and I had hit dial. So now the phone is ringing, and now I'm flipping the fuck out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm literally saying this in real time. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not that guy. And as I'm hitting that button, and it will not, because I'm hitting it too hard, because I'm freaking out, it just looking at me. And all of a sudden, I realized that the ringing had stopped and there was nothing but silence, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm that guy, right?
Right.
And Desiree and David just bust out laughing. And I'm the guy who got away with calling David Nesdall at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, he
Yeah,
had
I
a
got
double
him.
standard, that's for
Well,
sure.
he's such a gracious guy. This is
And
literally his
fun fact,
response.
he's the only one I've seen that literally dropped a custom shop Les Paul live on a live stream. and
Live
didn't-
on air, baby. That's YouTube. You can't take it back either. That was great. God, that
No.
was great.
Yeah. That shocked. And the best thing when it came to new guitar Dave, because it happened every, 3 weeks, Charles? It'd be like, Charles, buddy, I just got this. This is the best guitar in the world. You'll never get a better guitar. And I'll tell you all the reasons why this is the best guitar ever, and you'll never want to play anything else. Awesome, Dave. And then about 3 weeks later, Charles, just got this. This is the best guitar ever. You'll never want to know. And it was the exact same fucking speech.
But you would say things to him like, well, Dave, the one from so-and-so, how is it? And he would literally say why. He would tell you why. What was the name of the store? I can't remember. I can't really remember it. You know the one I'm talking about.
Strung.
Guitar Wishes? No.
Well strung.
That's
Miggy
the one
Smalls.
that Randy goes to in Gastonia.
Yeah, it was well-strung guitars.
Well-strung guitars.
Because
That's
I always
it.
called it well-hung guitars. And they're like,
Guitars.
he's like, stop that! I'm like, yeah, I'm putting it in your head, so you're fucked up.
You know, Desiree, I know he said it on the show, but Desiree told me once that he would just go in there and just grab a $25,000 custom whatever Les Paul and just sit there and noodle with it forever.
I
Just
get
playing
I
it with
get
no
the
amp,
photos.
just
You can't
acoustically.
show this to anybody, and it's like him holding two bursts.
Yeah.
You're a dick. He's like, I know. Because that was the New Yorker in him. He's like, I gotta bust your balls. You're my friend.
If
And he would tell you that. If I don't bust your balls, I don't like you.
That's true. He would invite people to come over, and people would say something randomly that not just anybody, but there have been people over the years who would be in the chat, regulars, and he would know them well enough to say, they're maybe 3 hours from me. They would have that kind of an understanding about each other, and they make a statement like, God, I'll never play a guitar like that. He'd invite them over.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Oh
Very
yeah.
cool.
And infectious personality to the point where if you met Dave, you were his friend, and you became best friends level.
That's right.
And
That's right.
he was so bad. He would set up the show like this. Okay, Charles. And then he'd send you the link around, let's say, 5:30 p.m. But he'd leave that tab open on his computer all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then I'd jump in about 15 minutes before the show, and I'll hear he's usually watching a live video of somebody playing, or more often than not, he's on the phone. And because he has a different tab open, he doesn't know I'm there most of the time. And I'd just be sitting there in the green room, but because he's already logged in automatically, so he's got it open. Yep. And, he'd be talking to someone, and I'd hear it, and then usually it's the same conversation. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I don't know if I can still do my Dave impression. Hey, how you doing? That, that was
pretty
Dave.
good.
His phone voice was always a little higher. He'd be, hey, Charles, how you doing? And, hey, buddy, doing good? And then, so he'd be talking, and he'd get off the phone, and he's talking with Brad Gillis. And I'm like, what do you mean you're talking with Brad Gillis? He goes, we have a mutual friend. They introduced us, and he had one conversation with him, and now they're friends, text buddies type thing, because he was out on the road, and we were working on getting Brad on the show when Dave passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he came across a non-fine tuner Floyd Rose, which is what Brad uses, and as much as Brad plays his original Strat, he's got a bunch of replicas that he plays as well. So he's always looking, because those things are like hen's teeth to find a non-fine tuner Floyd. How do I know this? Because I was involved in the EVH world very in depth for a number of years.
I was just going to say that. And he was one of the recipients of one of the first original 3 Floyd Roses that were ever put in production and given. Eddie got one. He got one. And
Neil.
thank you very much, Neil Schoen. That's right.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. I know Tom spent a lot of time talking with Dave, too, when they were both in hospital.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry, Tom. Jesus, don't be putting that in
I'm
there. That'll
sitting
make
here
me
saying
cry.
I got to pull myself out of this rabbit hole of David Nesla. I'm going to be crying over here. We missed that guy, chat, in case you haven't noticed. A lot of people here didn't get to have the privilege to know the man. But we're going to do our best to introduce you to him in the future. Let me, can I jam a little guitar?
I would love for you to jam a little guitar, Brother Charles. And if
I've
you haven't
got
already,
this-
check out Charles' channel.
Yeah, please
I don't know what
I've
exactly
really-
subscribers, but we want to get him to
Evidently-
275 tonight. I want to get
It's a
you to
YouTube
275.
thing.
buddy. And before we forget, I'm going to be on with Charles this coming Friday on his channel. So if you like hanging out
That's
with me,
exactly right.
well, you got to be something to see us hanging out again on Friday.
We're going to have some fun. I'm going to pick a couple of videos, rock videos too, Ben. We're going to kick it a little bit old school since you and me and Mitch are going to be on there. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Right on. Guys, this is just a backing track. I just want to jam to it. And then after this a little bit, I'm going to play a song on bass. I'm more anxious to play the bass, to be honest with you.
And if you like the way Charles is playing, reach out to Steve Brand and take some lessons.
Hey,
I'm thinking about it too, because
money well spent,
I
guys.
am
I'll say it
quite
like
jealous
that.
of Charles is playing. There's aspects of Charles playing that I am lacking in considerably. So, little fine tune accoutrements that I need to do in my playing, Charles. So I'm just saying. And I don't know if you learned it from Steve, but I could ask him. So.
Steve, I'm going to bring him back on. We got a build going on right now, and he's going to be on the show with his partner in crime, Mr. Quentin James. You got no Quentin. Love you, Quentin. And we're gonna talk about it in depth, and kind of see where the last year has gone. Because I've been involved with Steve now for a year, approximately.
It's getting serious.
About half guitar. Actually, that's not true. About 1/3 guitar, and then I separated a fight between my dogs and got bit, and lost the ability to really play guitar for like 8 months. But I was fortunate to pick up a bass and start fumbling on that, and 6-8 months of bass. Steve dropped right into bass lessons instead of guitar lessons, and it's funny. I really didn't skip much of a beat. I added an instrument. If you look at it that way, the glass is half full. You see that, guys? Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. It's just a little jam. It's not too long.
Zach's comment there. Zach's been around since day one. He's seen it all.
Zach Thong has seen it all, man.
Oh, excuse me.
Zach Thong rocks. All right, let's see. I think we got some tone. Yeah, we do.
Sounding good.
Hang on 1 second. Hey, I'm live. Do you need me? Okay, I'll be in touch. Text me if you need me. I have no idea, guys.
Life.
I have no idea. Well, it couldn't have been that important. That's all I'm saying. Right on, guys. Oh, Timmy, you got your backing track, by the way, guys. This is a fun one. This is a fun track.
Yeah.
It's bad karma not to let the backing track finish. I found that out.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
OCD.
Very
Anyway,
Egyptian vibe
that's
there.
That was
That's
cool.
let me get you guys. Let me bring you guys back. So that's a little lesson thing that I do for that particular mode. There's modes that I've gone through all of them to some extent in my lessons, but there's some that I gravitate towards more than others based on the music that I listen to. So that being said, it's a journey. I like to camp out and spend time within that particular, mode. Within each mode of that key, E minor, each, let's just call it position or box or shape, however you want to call it, it has a lot of room for interpretation and things. And I literally, just that right there, if I never ever needed to like do any, or never could do anything else, the possibilities of that are mind-boggling, depending on the key you're playing in, So anyway, just this is for shits and giggles.
Well, and I know it's not
fun,
true. I
guys.
was looking at the numbers there. Usually when I start playing on this channel, the numbers go down. He starts playing, they went up.
Oh, you are so kind. No professional here, guys. Bedroom rocker. Just love guitar. That's what it's all about. And I'll say it like this. Mitch and I, our channel, all we do, we don't strive for content. We don't strive for anything. We reflect what you guys do. If you got something going on and we see it, that's content. We bring it in.
I'm supposed to.
That's
I gotta get it into writing mode because I'm supposed to go into the studio this week, Charles. I didn't know if you knew that.
You are?
Yeah.
Tell us about it, brother. Right on.
Yeah. Ironically enough, last week we had Son of Time on, a new band from local gents, really cool guys.
Yeah.
And as such, my producer Jason from Lambert Drive Studios popped in the chat. Because he knows them too. They're like, "Oh, you know Jason?" I'm like, "Yeah, he literally lives 2 miles over there." So, and so he's like, "Hey, hit me up because I got these little bits and let's call it riffs and such."
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, donor. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to hop on after the show, I'll send you a link. Up to you.
Right on.
But yes, reminder, anybody, if you donate $20 or more to the virtual tip jar, come hang with us on the post show for a little bit. Charles does have to work in the morning, but you get to meet him and stuff, and it's cool because he's a cool guy, and everybody should know him and stuff and such. And he's been a huge supporter of this channel for years. It's a two-way street. D-White Bailey, the Hitman. He released another hit single last night. Climbed up the week. Yeah. Something else was going to I forgot. Was that
Dwight Bailey
mention the upcoming show? Oh yeah, and I should also mention Jason from Lambert Drive Studios is going to be coming on the channel here Sunday, May 24th. And he was talking about he's working with a new record label, so I'm curious to find out from that. I don't know. Maybe like when a team gets sold, Trev, do my rights get traded in the deal? I don't know because I'm trying to sign to Lambert Drive in that respect, which is a deal we worked out a few years ago.
That's awesome. So, is it one day you're going to be in there? 2 days?
Much, it says, "Just because I love you, man. I love you too, Ferd."
Hell yeah.
Ferd rocks. Ferd rocks. Right on, Ferd.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
The wiliest of veterans in this YouTube community.
Very cool.
To use another pro sports term, the wily veteran.
Oh, man. I hope all you guys are doing well out there. We roll with our ups and downs.
What are we up to on a sub count, Terry, for Charles's channel there? And that's the channel that you need to check out, folks. Papa Blues here, by the way.
Right on, Papa. You rock.
Yeah.
247.
Right on.
What? Nobody?
Right on.
Maybe everyone. I don't know. Then again, Charles, we have done about 20 shows together, so
Most everybody here's already subbed, I think.
Everybody, yeah. If you want to hang out with us after the show tonight with Charles for a bit, Bo, the virtual
Absolutely.
PayPal.
Right on. Right on.
Or maybe it's delayed because we've swapped them so much. So
it's all good. Look, I'm going to play another song. You guys
Do
mind?
it. Do it.
All right. This is one of my favorite bands. I remember them when they had hair. They actually had hair. Well, most of the members, half the band has hair. The other half are just as bald as can be. That's the way it goes. Guys, this is just a fun song. I hope you like it. Enjoy.
Thank
Oh yeah.
I don't know which is more fun, bass or
Thanks,
guitar.
Trev, for doing the auto production thing. It's like, I don't know, someone starts playing a backing track. Trev just knows what to fucking do. I don't know why.
Dang it.
Trev's awesome, man. Trev is awesome.
And I love how he's like, I gotta play some bass. All right. Fucking Steve Harris. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's
Oh my goodness. I have a lot of fun playing guitars. I wish I was better at it. I wish I didn't make mistakes like I do. But I'm blessed to even be able to have, like, I didn't have, like 8 months ago, there was no feeling in these two fingers right here. And my guitar playing days, as far as anything of, it was over. Okay, it was over. I've got my feeling back now. There's paralysis from the dog bites in my hand. There is articulation that's not right. But it's working to the point where I can at least have fun. And I'm blessed for that. So, you know, you got to be thankful for what you got, I guess, guys. You know,
I've had problems with the same two fingers. I had the tail end of a transmission bink down and pinched those two fingers, which caused nerve damage and feeling problems for years. So it was kind of fortunate that the first band I joined, we played in like drop C, so like drop T. So it was all riff based. So I could compensate with my index and pinky a lot for that. And over time, it's just gotten like slowly better. But it literally took, I'm going to say 10 years. And it's still, I'm going to say at 97, 98%, but I don't know if it'll ever get back to 100. And there's my sister in the chat who saw April Wine and Triumph last night.
Right on, Amanda. I hope you're doing well, Amanda. It's good to see you. Right on.
And thank you, Jim.
That's awesome.
For the tip during the thing. The Iron Maiden. That's it.
Right on, brother. That's so cool.
Words are escaping me. It happens.
Right
Apparently,
on.
is not the strain for words, Trev. I've noticed. So, yeah. This has been awesome. We're going to go a little bit longer here. We'll go to the bottom of the hour, folks. And people are just tuning in. If you're just tuning in and haven't already, Charles Greene, he's becoming a legend over time in the YouTube guitar community. I can say that because I remember when I just knew you as a screen name, and the first time I saw Charles Greene's name pop up, it was either a comment on a video or in one of my chats. And I went, oh, shit, Charles made it. Because I'd seen you around, you know, and I was like, yay, he found me. And
you were nice enough to say hi to me, Ben, back in the old days. It was. You remember when you first started going on YouTube and you're going to your first chat? That was kind of intimidating. Even at my age, I mean, this whole computer thing is all new to me.
I was so clueless about it, Charles. I'll tell you right now, because I started hanging out in live chats, I want to say in 2017, okay? And there was only a few around. There wasn't many. And what I noticed was there was this Terry guy in all of them, and he had a wrench. So I honestly thought he worked for YouTube. I thought moderators actually worked for YouTube, and I'm like, fuck, I hope he's into guitars because he gets assigned to all the guitar channels.
Oh my!
And I didn't realize that. Like, I had no idea how it worked. Like, I was that clueless how live streaming worked that I honestly thought Terry worked for YouTube. I thought the moderators were supplied from YouTube. I was like, well, that's fancy. It turns out it's not that fancy. It's just the guy.
They don't charge that much.
Someone that he
They
trusts.
don't charge that much. My goodness.
To help out.
I noticed your sister posted that she got Richard Nagamitsu got upgraded, right? They upgraded at the show we were talking about, and your sister just posted that she got upgraded to the 19th row. So she not only did she go, she saw April Wine and Triumph, which they're my favorite Canadian band next to Jeff Healey. I'll say it like that. That's awesome, Amanda. Shit, that's cool as shit. That's pretty cool.
And she was saying, yeah, the people sitting behind her were friends with the singer of April Wine. So I assume that would either be the new guy or Brian Greenway. Not that I'm friends with most of the April Wine guys on FaceSpace, because it was weird that way, Charles. Early days of Facebook, like I saw a couple, famous Canadian musicians on Facebook. So I sent them a friend request. And by the time I got into playing, and then it started coming up where, like, when you become friends with, let's say, 8 of them, it's sort of like, well, you know how it is. If you're friends with 8 members of the guitar community, all of a sudden you're going to get, like, Steve Reeser coming up as a suggested friend, or Trev, or, type thing. As such, being friends with a bunch of these guys, all of a sudden it's like people you may know, Burton Cummings, Kim Mitchell, and I'm like, oh, send them friend requests, see what happens. So I've been friends with Burton Cummings for years.
That's it.
You know, and it's kind of how that happened.
I think my first Facebook rock star friend was Will Wheaton from Queensryche. Yeah,
On with the Philip Sace interview yesterday. I missed it because we were doing the Water Buffalo meeting an hour later, so I was prepping and such and getting ready and cleaned up and stuff. So yeah, I missed it. I have to check it out on replay. I keep forgetting.
That's so cool.
Lots of people told Sam she had awesome parents. Right? We were dragged to folk music events, not rock events. That's how I rebelled. I started listening to bands like Motorhead, which my dad, who loved rockabilly and a clean tone, for him, the most gain he ever wanted to hear on a guitar was CCR, Charles.
Yeah.
You know, that was it. Although, fun fact, he loved Lemmy. Didn't care for Motorhead's music, but as a person, he loved Lemmy because Lemmy was such a fan of the music. And his side band he had, which was a rockabilly band, which he loved too. So.
My dad couldn't stand Motorhead. He didn't like Motorhead. He didn't like Ted Nugent. Those were his two.
He didn't care for the music at all, but he liked Lemmy. I'm like, you just like him because he wears the same rodeo wear that you used to wear. Shut up.
That's it. That's it. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's turning out to be a pretty good ride on YouTube, you guys. I'm not going to complain. Knock on wood. I don't get out nearly in the community like I want to. I think retirement. I don't know if I'm going to go like Quentin James or anything like that, but in my retirement, I'm going to be on a little more, and I'll be able to. It'll just going to change the whole rhythm of my life. I know it's going to happen. It's going to be dramatic, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. There's a part of me that's not.
So you go live twice a week instead of one, and make a few videos documenting, building your guitars and such, and
and getting out on other channels. I
always think
whole
of
year.
That photo.
Ever since the dog bites, my whole YouTube world really changed. It changed. It just did. I started not doing things that I normally would do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you got to roll with it. But there's been a lot of positives. So I'm not going to be the naysayer on this.
I'm not laughing at you. As my sister's comment. Triumph had a wall of Marshalls behind them. I couldn't get a look at their gear because I'm short and stages are not.
Oh, shoot. That's a good thing, Amanda. That's a good thing.
Well,
that's fucking cool.
I could reach out to some people and find out. Trying to think. I have some mutual friends with, I believe, Todd and I don't know about Phil X, but I'm telling you who the other who's playing drums with them when it's not an actual Triumph member. I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
But I think we have some mutual friends as well. Well, it's like the depth, as Trev knows, the depth of field in Canada compared to the U.S. is about a tenth. So if you think there's only a handful, it's like Kenny, like you're saying, like Kenny and Marco backing up the Satch 5 band, right? Like those guys never stop working. They're real road warriors because they can play and fit into any situation because they're real pros. Yeah. Same as Todd Kearns and like Pete Thorne and Randy Cook. Drummer who's mostly doing American gigs these days, but it might be Randy playing with Triumph now I think about it. I saw that orange setup when I saw some photos you had posted. I was like, yeah, that's his too. I don't think that was backline provided. I don't think. I can't remember.
I see Richard's post. Richard Nagamitsu. Yeah, a similar situation. My two dogs got into a fight. I didn't even blink. Fingers in their mouths. I can still feel the fangs between my fingers as I'm prying them apart. After it's all done, my daughter says to me, "You'd better never do that again. That's the dumbest thing you've ever..." Well, she was saying that the whole time. Dumbest thing you've ever done. Don't ever do that again. I think I'd do it again. I really do. That's the scary thing about it, Richard. What are you gonna do?
Wow, Tom.
I might. First of all, Tommy,
Steve
he is a
Brand is
national
flipping that
treasure now.
for- I know Steve is going to send that to Quentin, so we know. Oh, Brent. Right.
I'm not going to pick up the cigarette habit. I'm not a cigarette smoker, so
I think
that
Brent
won't
and
happen.
Todd
But
play in Took together, the cover band. I could be wrong though.
yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh man, that's
But
funny.
we do have some mutual friends.
Oh, Tommy, 100-pound Bernese Mountain Dog. We love them all, but when they're pissed and they don't like you,
Right?
man, that's a whole different world.
That's
a
why I
whole
stick to
different
cats. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You get scratched, but they won't bite through your hand.
It's no
They'll
joke.
try,
man.
but they can't.
No joke.
But they'll try.
No joke.
They'll latch, but you can shake them off most times.
With like, my business and everything, any pool that has, with the exception of a couple, because we do service a lot of pools, but we only have a couple, like maybe 6 or 7, where vicious guard dogs are on premises. We're talking security dogs. And so there's a protocol. There's a time of day when we're allowed to show up. We're supposed to text and be authorized to literally open the gate. It's a whole thing. I do that shit. That's like my job. Because we don't necessarily want any of the pool tech guys who, do the cleaning or the basic servicing of the pool to have to even worry about that shit. But at the same time, I respect the hell out of them. I really do. But I try to make friends with them still. I know that's crazy, but I still try. I give it a try.
All right,
Michael Krause.
I'll give it a shot, Mike. Let's do it. Let's set it up.
Cats are a trip. Cats are
Next
cool,
week.
man. They're their own thing,
That'll be a whole different pay-per-view right there. Me versus Michael Krause's cat. Mike's in the cat's corner. I have my cat in my corner. It's weird. So, well, we should probably wrap things up here. And the next portion of this conversation will be held this coming Friday over on Charles' channel.
Can't wait, guys.
It's going to be a
Ben,
bunch
thank
of
you
fun.
for having me. Trev and Ben, thanks for having me on your channel again.
Always, brother.
This is a beautiful spot in my YouTube world, guys. I
It's
love
just
you.
another chapter of the continuing series.
There you go. Right on.
He is.
Chat,
He is.
love you guys.
Quickly becoming a national treasure. I'm not gonna, and I'm not just sugarcoating. He really is, because
That's really
dare I
cool,
say,
Mike.
Pete
Thank you.
Thorne bases in many ways. Like
Thank you.
he's really rock solid reputation as a player, and Phil X is Phil X, right?
Yeah.
And I saw Rick Emmett had the double neck out last night, so his back is better than mine. I ain't performing with a double neck, sitting down or otherwise.
Awesome. I've got. I think on the show this Friday, I have one of the songs I videotaped from Satch Vi. Vi has pulled out the dragon, the 3-neck dragon.
Oh, the Hydra.
It's its own thing. Yeah, the Hydra. I'm so sorry. And dragon, Hydra, and I videotaped it, so it's really cool. He does a song on it. I think we'll show that on Friday as well.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm trying to have some really cool shit because you're coming on, and chat. At Rocking It Up with Chuck and Mitch, we don't do the standard interview. Ben's coming on the channel. He's a guest. He's family. He's been up on the front of the building of our card that we put up. He hasn't been a guest yet on the show yet. His card has been up there since pretty much the beginning.
I wasn't going to bring it up, Charles. More of the intro video where it has special guests. I'm like, there's me. I haven't been on, though.
That's how fucking special
Almost
you are,
100
Ben.
episodes.
All right?
There I am, but I'm not.
You're so special. You're just in the
Use my
mix,
face
man.
for
You and
advertising. That's
you
fine.
and a
No.
couple others.
Yeah.
But
And I
we're
never had a
looking
problem with
forward.
it because I am glad to support Charles in any way I can.
Man,
Because,
this is
you
a
know,
good community.
We go
And
back
Ben,
almost a
I
decade.
just want
at
to
this
thank you,
point,
brother.
which is crazy. to
Right
think.
on.
Wow.
Right on.
So
You guys
we're actually gonna take out with a special thing tonight, which is a video I put together that has only been seen twice on the channel, which was for the David Nesdal tribute show and then the 1-year anniversary tribute show, which was the intro video. So the song was by John Conklin. I believe I said that right. And I'm remembered right. Again, this is 4 years and a lot of lifestyle choices ago. The Guitar Town Hall theme song I got use of to be able to. So we're going to end the show with that tonight. Little video.
That's excellent.
Dave. And if you tear up, you're allowed. Rest in peace, Dave. Oh,
I'm up for Dave.
Hold those doors open. Let Ferd in ahead of you in traffic, or Richard Nagamitsu, or Bent Tom, or Munch, or any of them.
Or me.
Or Charles.
We need some help around here.
Show with more than 5 minutes to spare.
Let me ahead of you in traffic because I've been drinking.
Yeah. There we go. Be good to each other. Karma is real. Don't we know it? And of course, don't litter.